Now, I loved this story. It appeared in USA Today because it gives our listeners a real good sense for the kind of technology and the kind of attacks which we're going to see more in the future. And essentially, in this case, how and why social networking is factoring into attacks increasingly. This is the result of an investigation late last year in 2009 by a network infrastructure provider, Terramark. They researched a successful attack on an unnamed major financial U.S. firm. An employee of this unnamed major U.S. financial firm had a Facebook page which got hijacked through a means that was not disclosed. But we've talked about, Facebook hijacking a lot in the past. It turns out it's all too easy to do. So the bad guys got access to this employee's Facebook page. Looking at the page, they saw postings about a recent company picnic, and they saw that this person's Facebook friends were, not surprisingly, other employees in the company. So they sent email as if from this employee to the other employees of the company that were identified through this Facebook page. The email said something to the effect of, hey, check out the pictures I took at last weekend's company picnic. So a number of employees received this email, which is on point. It's contextually relevant. It's from a friend, one of their Facebook friends who's an employee of the company. All of it makes sense. Clicking on the link, in this one case, installed a keystroke logger on the laptop of a female employee who received this email and had every reason to trust it, this so-called weaponized email. So she now had a keystroke logger on her laptop. Subsequently, when roaming outside of the company, she logged in through the company's VPN, and her login credentials and whatever else was required, like a client certificate and so forth, was captured and sent to the bad guys.
Oh, wow. Clever.
Yes. They now had the ability and did to log in to the corporate, through the corporate VPN, get into the intranet.
Wow.
They spent 2 weeks roaming around inside the company and before their presence was detected, and had taken control of 2 of the company's internal servers by that time. So this really happened.
That's an amazing hack.
This is the way it happened. This is targeted. And I think what we're going to be seeing more in the future is this kind of vulnerability. I don't know whether where the original impetus came from, whether it was this first employee whose Facebook page got hacked, then they looked to see who he worked for and said, oh, let's go after that company. Or maybe the initial intent was, let's go after this company. Let's see if any of the company's employees have Facebook pages. That led them to a collection of Facebook pages. They were able to hijack one Facebook page, then leverage that through a series of actions into remote VPN access into that corporate network.
And it wouldn't be enough to say, oh, we're not going to allow you to use Facebook at work, because it was on our laptop at home.
Correct.
So you'd have to say, as an employee of this company, you may not use Facebook anywhere, anytime.
And so what? Yeah, and so the way the social networking is factoring into this is, for the first time ever, there's a sort of a formalized forum for the publication of interrelationships.
Right.
Here are all the people I'm Facebook friends with.
Right. You're not just giving away your birthday and your weight. you're giving somebody your social circle, your graph,
your social network, and so so we've seen already, and we've talked about this often, that it is the social engineering which is a continuing problem for security, because that just slips under people's radar. It's like, oh, mail from mom. Mom is not going to attack me. So, that's what happened. And so, we're seeing things like, Twitter links being sent where it's like, LOL, is this really you? Question mark.
Yeah.
And then a link. And so, it's like, oh, who's, if this comes from someone and they apparently found something about you on the internet, is this really you? You're going to be moved to click that in order to find out what it is that they think they know about you.
Dvorak's Twitter got hacked over the weekend. But now he swears, no, I didn't do anything. It was a security flaw at Twitter, and other people got hacked as well. And I don't know what the truth is of that matter, but it does make you think, boy, if you really want to be secure, you should not be on these networks.
Well, I mean, with it comes some responsibility, because social engineering hacks are able to be blended with these kinds of targeted attacks, like using weaponized email to get underneath people's defenses. I mean, the problem is that 99.999% of the email you receive is fine. You have habits which generally don't hurt you, but it doesn't mean that 0.001% can't really do some damage through no malicious intent on either of these employees' part. Bad guys got access to her VPN login credentials and used them to get access to, inside a corporate intranet. And it really happened.